All right, welcome to Geek Vision. That's what we're calling this thing now, Geek Vision. So welcome to Geek Vision, where we geeks tell you how we see whatever film or show we'll be discussing. So I am your host, Terrell, and this is my geek buddy, Brendan, aka the Ginger King. Say hi to all of your lovely, adoring fans.
How are you? I am the Ginger King, and I love it. So, nobody else wanted the throne. I took it.
That's right. I mean, if it's open, why not? So today, of course, we shall be discussing episodes 1 through 3 of the new Superman show called Superman and Lois. Now, Brendan just did pretty much a crash course in the show, and I've been watching it over the past 2 weeks, I think. I missed the first episode when it posted, but then I caught up a day before the second episode posted, and of course I saw the third. So now, before we go all in, we're gonna give you all our brief our overall feelings of the show. So Brendan, I'll start with you. How did the show make you feel, particularly after the first episode, and then how did that feeling change by the end of the third episode?
Episode 1 to me was too drawn out, too obvious. They're always going to be in Smallville because that's what this You have to give me a better lead up. You've got to do better writing than that. Now, episode 2 and 3 did better, but episode 1 for me was, like I told you, it killed me.
And episode 2 and 3 pretty much did they make up for episode 1, or did?
Yes, and I'd love to see episode 4, but it's the whole. I'm a writer. You've known that since high school. I'm a writer. You have to have the forethought to say this is going to be the shittiest part, and episode 1 should not be.
No, when I first saw it, I was expecting all of the predictable things that were all the things that we're so used to seeing in a Superman show. We're gonna see the spaceship. We're gonna hear about his origin, how it's a huge secret. One of the parents are gonna die. Usually it's the father. I wasn't expecting both parents to die, but at the same time, when it happened, I wasn't surprised.
I wasn't expecting a 20 years jump either, because it's a 20-year jump, and then you're negating Supergirl, which is in the same universe. I'm assuming it's still.
Well, she'll be back eventually, because they changed so many different things. At least I believe she will be. But because they changed so many things with certain characters' origin stories, so I definitely believe she'll make an appearance or she'll fly in sooner or later. But I do like how they've been developing this family dynamic between Superman and his kids and Lois.
I love that.
It really grounds him, and it really gives you something different to watch, because I'm not really watching this for his powers. I'm not really watching it to see who he saves. I don't even really care about Lex.
He's already done that. If it's 20 years down the road, he's already Superman. He's already been a part of the Justice League.
Exactly.
I'm okay with that part.
We've seen it all before.
But the whole thing where Lex Luthor is still in their life, give me a new villain. I don't new, just different comic book. I'm sorry.
That's
wrong with me. It really did.
Well, because we're tired of it. It's really Superman is one of those characters where he's so OP and he's also so bland that it's hard to write for him. I'm really surprised that he's lasted this long, but I believe his stories really didn't last this long. But just him as a figure of hope and strength, and he puts the super in superhero. So just his iconic status is kind of what's kept him alive.
That was so bland yourself. But so funny, right?
But that speaks to how how kind of boring the character is. Batman I never heard Batman say this, but I'm sure he'd agree with me when I call Superman a Boy Scout, because he kind of is. And he's just when you have a character like that, there's only so many different stories you can write. He's going to be good for the majority of his run. Then of course we give him something to turn him evil, but then he goes back to being good, and then he's super OP. So it's what kind of villains do you write for this kind of character? And they did good some of the times, but then other times they kind of fell flat. But it's his iconic status that's really kept him alive and kept him kind of as an A-lister in the superhero world, even though a lot of the shows and movies that have come out were kind of bad, and even if they had some good parts, but his iconic status is kind of what's kept him up here. You know what I mean?
4 days from now, you and I are going to have a field day.
Yes, I cannot wait. Justice League!
I know we're going to be doing, like, 4
I cannot
hours.
wait.
Cool, we're going to take a break. But, like, oh my God. Like,
you know, I may just put on my diaper from Endgame.
And I'm not even going to give a shit. Like, I'm just going to show him the movie, and I'm pretty sure he's going to sit there and go, I'm 4 years old. What does this mean?
if he doesn't like it, just do what the old Southern black women used to do to their like grandkids. Like give them 2 tablespoons of like Robitussin or vodka, so it can knock him out, and he'll be gone by the time he wakes up.
I would never do that. I would never, ever do that.
I know there's just some things you just don't do on camera.
Did you not see what I was doing in my head?
Yes, I did. I did. We all did. For all of the 3 people that are watching right now, we all did. But yeah, so this show, I really liked how it kicked off, but I can see how and why you didn't really care for it. But I'm glad you stuck with it, and I'm glad that you actually liked how it's developed. Now, before we go into the Lois and Clark and the family dynamic, like before we go all in, we got to talk about this suit, this muscle suit. Why is he wearing a muscle suit when Tyler Oakland is already built? Like, he's lean and built, and he's like 6 feet tall. Like, why are you wearing a muscle suit? Like,
green.
You think it's CGI?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, and that's the news. Like, they don't know better, and I mean, even what's her Melissa?
I don't believe that.
like even when she had her suit on, I'm like, okay. I mean,
well,
I believe she's that skinny, but I mean, like, are you like, come on, like, it's just even what Grant Gustin, like, in the flat, like,
his is real, hers is real. I worked in Supergirl and I saw hers.
Like, it's just like.
I know it's something small, but you know, because it's like they got so many other things right. I'm like, you couldn't really nail this suit. Does he have to have a muscle suit?
No. See, this is where I disagree with you, and I get where you're coming from on the suit. I agree with you on your opinion of the suit. Mm-hmm. You're not understanding the thought process. You say OP. Superman's an OG.
He's still OP. He's an OP OG.
I know, but you have to give Superman every benefit that he can get, and that is an OG thing.
I know.
And they're gonna do it every time. Like, they didn't think they don't give a shit what your opinion is on this.
Of course they don't, but they still could have got the suit right. They could have gone to Party City.
Like, at the same time, nobody else, like, you and I are the type that would sit there and go, yeah, okay, that's some bullshit. But the other 98% of the fucking public ain't gonna give a shit, and that's where they don't care about.
Well, that's not entirely true. I've seen on YouTube and all the comments, people have been dragging them for the suit. But to your point, that is
you
definitely
can only please 90% of the public 100% of the time. 10% you can't, and that 10% goes to YouTube. So you're right. Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, the fans have spoken, but again, to your point, like, it's definitely not a big deal. It's not even a big deal to me. But when I saw it, I was like, is he wearing a muscle suit? Like, he doesn't, like, Tyler Oakland is like ripped, but okay, and the rest of the show made up for it, because, you know, there's always going to be those little things, but the rest of the show did make up.
That to prove a difference between him and the kids. And I mean,
they look so bad.
No. They look so weak. They look so.
They do, yes.
They do, and I can't stand. I mean, I love. I told you the Robert the Bruce thing.
Who is it? Who is that? When you text me about that, I'm like, who is Robert Bruce? And I forgot.
Have you ever seen Braveheart?
No. I'm cheating right now. I'm using Google Chrome. Robert Bruce. So he's in the first episode or one of the episodes?
He's Jael.
Oh, that's who it. When I saw that, I was like, "What in the bootleg Russell Crowe is going on here?" Like,
that's a Braveheart you do not own.
But I imagine Jarrell to look more put together.
We have a 30-second not speaking.
Okay, well, within since I have 29 seconds left, let's see.
Look him up.
The next thing.
Bruce and Braveheart.
I don't know how he looked in Braveheart, but I think he definitely could have looked better here. And I'm not saying Russell Crowe looked great, he could have looked more put together.
Again, we're going for look, but like they cast the people they can. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but it's like you couldn't take that extra step just to comb somebody's hair.
Okay. So like, who I would have rather seen, and I mean this, like in that light, like honestly, I would have rather an old Jeff Daniels.
That would have been good. That would have been really good
casting. I also would have rather seen like an old Tom, and I know you're never going to get him, Tom Hanks, like that kind of a like.
Yeah, somebody who has somebody who can come off as being regal and have that gravitas, but also seem very fatherly and mature too. But I've always appreciated the character of Jarrell because I love the idea of people dying and leaving hologram versions of themselves. I'm like, man, if only we could start doing that. Like, we never really like miss anybody. I mean, number one, we have Facebook. Number two, we'll have hologram versions of our parents. Okay, so now let's go into Lois and Clark and the boys. Now, when I first saw this, I thought two things. Number one, I thought, they seem a bit young to have teenage sons. And number two, I thought, hopefully I don't sound bad saying this, but I probably will. Of course, he's never gonna age. But the second thing,
he does not look young.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting to. Like, I thought to myself, they both look like young parents, but she looks significantly older than him. And I'm not saying she looks old, but she looks older than him. When I saw them doing the crossover with the other CW on the Crisis specials, I said, "Wait, that's their Lois." She looks nice. She looks beautiful, and she seems like a really good actress. And I like her presence, and I like how she makes sure she stands out, and she stands out in a really good way. But she looks significantly older than Tyler Oakland, and it's a minor thing, but still, it's one of those things I noticed right away,
this
like a year or so.
How much TV shows and TV networks have it in advance?
It doesn't even seem like a CW show to me, which I love. Even though I love the CW shows,
it played like an HBO drama.
That's what I thought. I'm like, am I watching HBO Max like on bootleg? And I only say bootleg because I don't have the service, but I can watch it in HD, because we nerds have our own.
I have it. And I can give you the password.
Well, that makes one of us. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I just may need it too soon. But
please, HBO Max, don't cut me off. I just gave him the password.
Yes, he was so kind to me, HBO Max. Please don't hunt him down and cut him off or send him to the gallows. All right, so yeah, the Lois looks way older than, not way older. She looks at least 10 or 15 years older than Tyler.
Age appropriate. She
does, yes.
Let's assume almost 40.
Yeah, and a really good almost 40. He just looks like he's too young. I know.
She's coming back to me. Okay?
I know. I forgot this is a touchy subject.
Yeah, come on. She's got red hair. I'm a ginger. Called her home. Things are gonna happen. Oh wait. Sorry. Please delete.
Remember, she's married. I'm not going to delete it. Remember, she's married into Superman, so you better come correct and don't come.
Ginger King has more powers than Superman does on the planet. Sorry.
Well, I don't really know how you can really compare it to Superman. And
listen. I can yell really, really loud. I mean, that's what I can do.
Speaking of that, I always wondered, how does Lois survive sex with Superman? I mean, it's one of those mysteries. Oh, also, that just.
How is he not the fastest guy on the planet?
I mean, I did see a meme one time with Flash when it showed like one panel, like he was like getting naked with the girl. The next panel, she was like, "That's it," and you saw like the clock in the background. It went from like a minute and like 3 seconds to a minute and 5 seconds. Like he was done in literally 2 seconds, and she was like, "That's it." He said, "Well, yeah. What did you expect?" But I mean, it's one of those things. It's like
it's not fast. It's efficient.
It's efficient, yes. It's still slow for him, and that's all that matters. But yeah, I guess the argument could be made that, like you said earlier, Clark, he ages slowly, so or he ages slow, so he's going to look younger than her.
He's not going to age at all. That's the problem.
Well, he's going to, because he aged from a kid, but he ages like by the time we're 100, he's only going to look like he's like 40. So, I mean, but yeah, so they look a bit young to be parents, but this is escapism, so we got to let some things go, just like the suit. So I'm learning. Okay, so now, speaking of the kids, let's talk about their dynamic. Now, I personally feel like, and we did talk about this off camera. Like, I feel like they could either be, they're both of them or one of them having powers could either bond them or make them grow more distant. You know, put more of a wedge between them.
Yes.
But I think it could either go the way of them both, one or both of them getting two different sets of their dad's powers and then them coming together just to be awesome, or one of them becoming the evil twin, because why not? You know, you have two twins, somebody's got to be the evil one, at least for a limited amount of time.
Episode 1, I felt evil twin. Then through episode 2 and 3, I felt more like they were becoming a team, and I want the team, I really do.
Yeah.
Evil twin is, again, shitty writing.
It can work sometimes for limited time, because we've seen it all before.
If there's a 2 or 3 episode arc where they both have powers and they decide to challenge each other, and one can fly and one's super fast, and you know, like all that. Okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
But I don't want. I want a new nemesis, and it did not develop. That's what pisses me. I have no new I got Luther again. Like,
I know.
I'm sorry, like there's just like even a young nemesis, like even a young powered person that they haven't shown yet, and they didn't, and that bothers me because it'd be like awesome if somebody in Smallville had something to challenge them with. That would be great, other than teenage pride.
I know. But you know, that leads me to my next question. How do you feel about this Morgan Edge character, and how, you know, you have Morgan Edge, who's pretty much a Donald Trump of the Smallville. That's what they're showing him as.
Well, he's going to team up with Luther.
Of course he is, eventually. If not,
writing. And again,
if not sometime during the season, he'll definitely do it at the end of the season, or it will be teased. But right. I when I realized what they were doing with Morgan Edge, I kind of like how they did it, because you have 74 million people who voted for Trump and then like 80 for Biden. You know, so there's almost like a bit of an equal thing where everyone seems to feel the same way about each other. And so with this Morgan Edge character, you kind of see how you have Lois on one side who sees through him and sees what he's doing, and sees how he's not really for the people like he says. But then you have the Kyle character who's like, no, he may not be the greatest person, or he may not even say it. Yeah, right. like the writers never really take sides. They let you decide who you like better, and they show you both arguments and how both characters, from, you know, Kyle and Lois, how both of them see the good and the bad in both, and how they both decide to take it. Because Kyle's like, look, Morgan Edge might not be the greatest person, he might not always say the right things, but I believe he's doing what's right for us. And Lois is like, no, why can't you see he's just playing you until he can drain all the money from you and stuff. And so, but I love how the writers took a polarizing character, put him in Smallville, and then let us kind of decide how we feel about him. They really need to do a better job at fleshing his character out, and hopefully they do.
But Lana was his first love.
Not in this show, it seems. It seems like they were just
friends.
Okay,
because it almost seems like her first daughter is actually his kid.
Can you imagine?
That's what I'm saying. Like that would be great writing.
And that was a perfect segue to my next topic. The daughter, Sarah. We always see her hang out with both brothers. She has no friends. It's like they have no real friends. Like when I saw that, I'm like, okay, so which brother are you really interested in? Because it looks like she's just interested in Jordan because they both have the mental illness thing and the suicidal thing in common. But it seems like she's interested in Jonathan too. And fun fact, the guy who plays Jonathan, his real name is Jordan, which is funny. But I'm confused as to which brother she likes and why it seems like she has no other friends but them. And do either of them? Well, do both brothers like her, or does just Jordan like her?
I'm beginning to wonder if she is now.
I hope she's their sister. I mean, we need something juicy and incestuous and scandalous. Like when she displays her powers, that's when I'm gonna be like, damn, Brendan knew it.
Knew that the cellar was there, or that I almost feel like she tossed those pipes on them.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Just to see if they were like her. I think they're both powerful, and I think that Scan was wholeheartedly wrong.
Scan? What Scan?
Robert the Bruce?
Oh, when he went to the Ice Fortress.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you and with Jordan, or not with Jordan. I think it was Jonathan that said, the Scan, it could be wrong. You could, and Jordan was like, no, I just have a little bit more strength than like regular folks, but nothing like that. But he has no strength like that yet, So I think he may just have the laser eyes and the super strength, and then Jonathan would probably have the super speed and like the ice breath or something, or super speed and he'll be able to fly.
X-ray vision, yeah.
X-ray vision, and he's in high school too, man. Those girls in the locker room, they're gonna be so Me Too'd. I mean, hopefully they actually show him doing that, because we see, and I don't want to see the girls in like naked and stuff, but I'm saying hopefully they show him misuse his power. Because yeah. But I mean, and
I don't want to see him that young either. But I mean,
but hopefully they show him misusing his power like that, because that's what a kid in high school would do. Yep. And we really need to see him misuse his power the way his brother is misusing his power. Because when you have a certain level of strength that's superhuman, supernatural.
Like Dad's there now, and honestly, he didn't misuse it. Like, if he really misused it, he would have knocked him back 50 yards. He only knocked him back 3 yards. Like,
but it's the principle that matter when you're.
No, I respected it. I respected the storytelling on that end. Like, there's some really good storytelling, and then there's some really shitty storytelling, and that's why this show has me so confused, dude. Like, I'm literally sitting here going, is this great or is this shitty? And midway through the first episode, I'm like, it's great. And then, like, by the end of it, I'm like, no. Then, like, through episodes 2 and 3, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, I'll be over in a minute, okay? Okay.
Oh, kids are. They just want to see you there, and they want you to be there. Mm-hmm.
And I want it to be an evil twin versus a good twin. F you, Dad. And honestly, I want the evil twin to kill Dad.
I don't think that's gonna happen, but I do think there'll be collateral damage, and right. I think when they do that, because I believe that they will do what you just theorized. They will do that, and but when they do it, I believe that they'll do it in a way where Jonathan with the green eyes, he will kind of be like how Rogue was kind of lured by Mystique to do bad things, even though she really didn't want to, but she was given so much reason to, because she wanted to please her new mother. I think Jonathan will have a falling out with his parents.
Didn't she get Captain Marvel?
Well, yeah, eventually.
It was Miss Marvel.
Yeah, it was Miss Marvel in the comics and in the cartoon. But yeah, I think Jonathan will have a falling out with his parents, and Lex Luthor, or worse yet, Morgan Edge, who was working with Lex Luthor at the time. It's all gonna happen at once. So Morgan Edge will lure Jonathan over to the dark side and say, I can do this for you. You should have powers too, just like your brother. Meanwhile, Morgan Edge is using Lex's tech, and they're all trying to achieve the same goal. And what better way to defeat Superman than to get one of his kids? But they have to get Jonathan in his mind. It can't be mind control. It has to be genuine. Like he's gonna have to be lured over to their side with reason.
No.
But yeah, do you have any gripes? Like anything small that you saw that was just kind of like another insult to your intelligence?
We haven't gotten Colossus yet.
Oh yes, Colossus. So
come on,
we got him at the end of season, at the end of episode 3.
Powerful person, other than
the kids and Daddy.
Obviously, his assistant, but and that was an awesome reference. And I looked at him and I'm like, it is Colossus, and I'm like,
he has a beard.
Acting like Colossus too, like you can't get beat.
Some people only have one note. So, it's just like every girl can't make it into Harvard, so she becomes a hooker.
So who was he? Because in DC canon, I didn't find him. I actually looked.
It's just
we got on. Who is he?
Just Daniel Cadman, I think is his real name. That's all he was. He was just a
I mean in DC lore.
I don't think he was anybody. Okay, so where do you think the series is going to go from here, and where do you hope that it goes?
I want another villain. I don't like the one they're developing. I that's the part that kills me. It's a different Luthor. Cool. I feel like they already dealt with a Luthor. Not cool. I want the boys to have a villain, but an actual super villain. I want to see both of them have powers. I wouldn't mind the evil twin angle. I think that's clever writing because you have to have some of that. You got to have it at one point. Maybe not this season. Maybe they both find out they have powers, and then next season you do something stupid like that.
You ready to wrap this up?
Yes.
Okay, for the 3 people who are watching, I am Terrell. And this is
Brendan.
This is my buddy
Bye.
Brendan. Yes, Brendan, we will convene next week for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All right, Brendan, have fun with the super kid.
Thanks.
All right, I'll see you. We'll do it again.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully you're enjoying Superman and Lois the way Brendan and I are. Whether you are or if you're not, make sure you leave your thoughts down below in the comment section, because we always love to hear from you. Now, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can at creative_Klaus. And if you like this video, make sure you like this video. And also make sure you subscribe to my channel and ring that bell too, so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video. Okay. All right, now before we go, I just want to say that I'm really excited for the Justice League. Brendan and I are both super excited for that, and for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we shall return next week, and our friend Andrew, he'll join us too for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier review. I don't know if he'll be with us for the Justice League review, but we'll see, hopefully. It is a 4-hour thing, so scheduling is kind of tricky, but at least Brendan and I will definitely be here. So, but always make sure you fly high and fly free. Be you, because everyone else is taken. Okay. Now you can check out another video from me right now, and zoom, zap, bam.